This is my how are you song. This is my how do you do song. And I'm so glad we are here. This is my I miss you song. This is my how can you do song. And I'm so glad we are here. And you know, Tart and Bit and Billy will come to visit. And I'm so glad we are here.
One more time.
This is my how are you song. This is my how do you song. And I'm so glad we are here. This is my I miss you song. This is my I love you song. And I'm so glad we are here. Yes, I'm so glad we are here.
Hello, happy Wednesday, everyone. Thank you for joining us, Family Connection. It's so good to have you and to be able to chat with you in our chats. I see that Clara has joined us and Kathy Schumann and my sister Katie and my mom Kathy. So we're glad to have all of you and the rest of you who are watching. Hello, we're so glad to be here with you. It was a beautiful day out today. How far did we go? We went for a very long walk before we came.
It was an hour-long walk.
It was, I think, like 5 miles. We actually walked in the city. We walked toward Minnehaha Falls, but we didn't make it. Because we had to make sure that we could get home in time for Family Connection.
Yeah, and we do not want to be late.
No. We saw a lot of people ice skating and sledding and walking their dogs. And now I want to know what is outside your window. So you go check and report back, and we'll check out our windows and we'll report back. All right?
Bye,
What do we see out there?
I see our snow people.
We have our snowmen, snow people,
People,
lights, people walking by.
gates. Oh, my favorite.
All right. Oh, yeah, another thing. I don't know if any of you noticed yet, but I have an Ava here with pinkish hair, and then I have an Amelia here with very dark blue hair. That's something that we did over the week. It's semi-permanent, which means that it'll wash out eventually, but that was a fun thing that the girls got done to their hair, and it looks pretty cool. Yeah. So I see that Katie sees train tracks by her house, or wherever she's at, and that's great. I can't see anyone because you guys are taking over everything. Hello. There, that's good. Yeah. So we went for a walk. We saw a lot of cool things. I see you guys.
We saw some doogies.
There is darkness outside right now. Yes, I can't wait until for when the days start getting longer.
Yes.
You know, spring is coming.
Yay.
But last week we did a cool science experiment with snow called, what was it?
The snow volcano.
The snow volcano. That was a lot of fun. This week I have another science experiment that I want you all to try at home. Okay, so I'm going to explain what it is, what we're going to do. You need to have 3 jars. Fill 1 jar with water. Ooh, look, you can see how Amelia's face is reflected in it. That's cool. Look at that crazy face. All right. That's another science experiment about how light can distort things. But that's not the science experiment we're talking about today. Today we are going to fill 1 mason jar with water. Then you're going to fill another jar with ice cubes. Then you're going to fill another jar with snow. Pack it in really tight. Now, I know we're going to be getting some snow in Minnesota tomorrow, so this is a perfect time to try this experiment. Now, once you do this, I'm going to move the computer back a little bit. There we go. Once you do this, careful. This is then the time where you create a hypothesis or an idea of what you think is going to happen. And the hypothesis you have to figure out is, do you think that when these 2 things melt, the ice and the snow, which jar will be holding the most water? So, do you think the jar with the water will? Do you think the jar with the ice will? Or do you think the jar with the snow will? It would be important to label your jars because when the snow and the ice melt, it's all going to look like water. So you have to figure out, remember which one is which. So write like a I on one and a S on the other and then a W. So try this tomorrow or today. Fill a big jar with snow, fill a big jar with ice, fill a big jar with water, and then wait for it to melt, and then determine which one has the most water in it when they all melt.
I think it's the ice cubes.
Ava's guess is the ice cubes. Amelia, what's your guess?
Snow.
You think the snow is going to have the most water when it melts?
Yes, you have to guess water.
I guess I'll say water. I don't know. We'll see. But you guys work on your experiment. You can do it at home and you can figure out what you think, and then you'll find out the answer eventually once everything melts. Oh, Gigi, what do you think?
Looks like he picked ice.
Gigi was sniffing the ice. Put down one ice vote for Gigi. All right, so this is our science experiment for today. And we won't know the answers until the ice and the snow melt.
Yeah, looks like Clara
guesses snow. All right. Clara, I think I'll try and get the answers out to you, but I would recommend you all trying this at home. It doesn't have to be mason jars, but something that you can cover because, water tends to evaporate. So, if any of the rest of you have votes, please let us know. And try the experiment at home. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, so this next Sunday, we are going to be starting to learn about the Beatitudes, which last week we found out, or actually this Sunday school video, if you saw it this past Sunday, Cream Puff Pierre and Katie Cactus and Little Guy all got together, and they determined that the Beatitudes were in the New Testament. And actually, it was a part of Jesus' ministry, and it was something that he shared with people during a sermon. And we're going to talk a little bit about that more, but first we're going to check in with Turt and Bit because Turt found something interesting as he's been studying the Bible. So we'll see what that's all about.
Turt and Bit, explain it.
This is so strange. It's nowhere to be found. Something must be wrong with this Bible. I just don't get it.
I wonder what book I should read today. Chronicles of Narnia, Shel Silverstein's Falling Up. Oh, hey, Turt. I didn't see you reading over there. Let me come over. Here I come. Oh, you're reading the Bible. Hey, how's that New Year's resolution going? About, reading through the Gospels.
Yeah, I'm going through the Gospels. But I think that there's something wrong with this Bible. It's missing something.
Well, that's strange. What do you think is missing? Why do you say that there's something wrong with the Bible?
Well, I was in the book of Matthew, and I got to this cool story called the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus shares the Beatitudes to a big crowd of people.
Oh, yes, the Beatitudes. Did you know that beatitude means supreme blessedness? It's such a wonderful passage in the Bible.
Well, this Bible forgot to include the Beatitudes in the book of Mark.
I really don't think that it was forgotten.
Well, whoever printed the Bible, they accidentally left out the Beatitudes in Mark. It's in the book of Matthew, but it's not in the book of Mark.
Well, you see, it wasn't something that the Bible printers forgot. It's just that Mark chose not to include the Beatitudes in the gospel that he wrote.
But why?
Gospel is different, you know. The 4 Gospels were written by 4 different people. They just chose what they want to record about Jesus' life on earth.
Okay.
And Mark decided that he did not want to include the Beatitudes in his Gospel.
But why?
Well, I don't know. The Gospels are written so long ago that there's no one alive now that can explain why the authors, or the writers of each book, decided to include things or leave things out.
Okay. So now that I know that nothing was forgotten, I guess that it wasn't the Bible printers that printed things wrong. It was just the choice of the author, Mark, not to Beatitudes. But it was the choice of Matthew to include the Beatitudes in his book.
Exactly.
Well, to be honest, Mark was really missing out because the Beatitudes are awesome.
I agree. Supreme blessedness, that's so cool. And each blessing is so comforting and so encouraging.
Yup. Hey, Bit, you want me to read the Beatitudes to you?
Oh, yes, please.
All right, so Turt discovered some things in his study of the Gospels that one Gospel included the Beatitudes or the Sermon on the Mount, and another Gospel did not. And at first he thought it was like whoever printed the Bible missed a part or something, right? But we found out that wasn't necessarily the case. What's cool about the Gospels is that they are written by 4 different people who were eyewitnesses to Jesus' life and ministry, and they chose to include things that the other maybe didn't. So, I thought it would be cool. Turt did recognize that Matthew has the Beatitudes written. And the Beatitudes in Matthew starts at chapter 5, verse 3, and it goes through, and there's a whole sermon Jesus did at that time called the Sermon on the Mount. He was talking to thousands of people, and the first thing that's written about in Matthew with the Sermon on the Mount are the Beatitudes. And the Beatitudes means supreme blessedness, but it's these blessings that Jesus was giving out to people who were maybe struggling with day-to-day life or having a hard time with their position in the world. And so he said, don't be disheartened, don't be sad, I have blessings for you. So then you go over to Mark. No, Mark decided he wasn't going to include the Beatitudes. He has a lot of Jesus's parables, which are stories that Jesus told and had important lessons in them, but he didn't include those Beatitudes or those blessings. Luke, he does talk about the Beatitudes. In chapter 6, he talks about them as well as some other things. John, he doesn't include the Beatitudes. John talks about some other things, but that is not one of them. So it's interesting to learn about what, some Gospels focus on and what other Gospels decide to not focus on. But starting this Sunday, we are going to be on the first Beatitude, which is chapter 5 of Matthew, verse 3. And they're all good ones, but we're going to focus on that one first. And I just wanted to show you guys this super cute paper snowflake that has pictures of cats. Our friend June Smith, who we all miss dearly, she made this for us, and she sent it to us in the mail. Very cute. I had to share it. All right. Well, I feel like it might be time to get up and move a little bit. Along with our Get Up and Move song, we are also going to sing This Little Light of Mine. And that's going to be a fun one. And I'm going to have the words for that one up. But first, we're going to get up and move and do our song. Yes, yes. And you all need to get up and move with us. Yes, yes.
Amelia.
We need to move and groove. Come on, Amelia. We need you. to get up and move. Get out of your chair. Bring your arms up high and raise them to the sky. Then bend down low and touch your toes. Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. Now, let's do the frog hop. Hippity, hippity, hop. Let's do some jumping jacks. Fling your arms. Then spin in a circle. Don't get dizzy. All right, Ava, can you switch the thing over to this little light of mine? All right. Oop, no, the first
No.
one. Sorry. No, I think I might have the words wrong.
This is strange.
Oh, we got two of the wrong ones. All right. That's our second verse. First, we're going to do this little light of mine. I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right, now, won't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No! I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No! I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No! I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, let's go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Awesome. Thank you for bearing with us. I got the words all wrong on that. Oh well, mistakes happen. And it's okay, right? Maybe there's a beatitude. Blessed are those who make mistakes, for life goes on. That's my beatitude.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, all right. I want to let you all know that we do not have our Zoom call this Thursday, tomorrow. So we'll get together next week for that. We might be changing the format of our Wednesday nights. So have your parents keep an eye on their emails so you can see if we're going to make any changes to that. But we're always going to have a good time on Wednesday night. And I just have to move the computer screen over so you can see Gigi. You have to mind the mess. But Gigi was sitting here like this the whole time we were singing and dancing. And he was judging us with a look of total contempt and boredom. But maybe it was just because he was jealous that he couldn't play the guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Or he just said, what is with all this noise? I don't like it, but I'm going to sit here and glare at you. That's why I like cats. You never know what they're thinking. But yeah, so just had to share that with you. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. We learned about how our Gospels share different things. We are going to be learning about the Beatitudes. We know that Jesus shared them during a sermon. We are going to find out about whether or not, I can already see the snow and the ice is starting to melt, so we're going to see out of all of them which is going to be holding the most water. I like this science experiment thing. I want to keep it going each week. It's very fun. And we sang some good songs, even though I had the verses a little bit off. That's okay. So, I hope that you are all well, and I'm going to end our time in a little word of prayer before we sing our With You song. So, we will do that now. Dear Lord, thank you for this fun Wednesday night that we can have together, and we can talk about science experiments and learn about what's in our Bible and who wrote the different books in the Bible and what's included in them. It's interesting to understand the authors behind the words that we read, and help us to get a good understanding of the blessings that Jesus shared during the Sermon on the Mount. Thank you that we can have the support of our friends and family, even if we're not all together like we would like to. But keep us all safe. Help us to remember that we can always call on you when we need support or when we're not feeling good. And we can also reach out to friends and family. Help us to be good helpers and listeners this week. And all God's children said,
Amen.
So let's sing our With You song. Did you all notice Ava's Garfield sweatshirt? That's about the same look that Gigi was giving us during
Yeah.
that song. Yes, indeed. Because that's just how cats are. Whole lot of attitude. Oh, Gigi's like, oh, you're getting the guitar out again. The clouds are in the sky, but they are not as high as I am. The frogs, they hop and hop, and they never stop like me. I think of all the things I've done and all the things to do. It's so good to be alive. It's so good to be alive with you. One more time. The clouds are in the sky, but they are not as high as I am. Frogs, they hop and hop, and they never stop like me. I think of all the things I've done and all the things to do. It's so good to be alive. It's so good to be alive with you. Well, everyone, I want to send you blessings and wish you a good week and let you know how much I miss you and I miss hanging out with you. And until we can be together in person, peace.
Bye. Bye. Miss you. Bye. 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 See you later.
Zoom.